check Khan Academy because we forgot yesterday. I know they take too long. So, oh, there it is. You have to turn Chromebook on before you leave. Minutes of my class is like 25% of the time I have with you. This can't keep happening. You keep disappearing from the class. It is intentional. It feels like the waiting to get back so you do this. It feels that way, so we need to make a change. Because you didn't even check in with me before you disappeared. Like, I didn't know. Like, you signed out, that's fine. But, like, I would have said, get a Chromebook, log it in, then go. Because that takes the time. So it's always interesting on the Desmos activities of, like, which one doesn't belong. And the really interesting thing is that none of us picked this one. But then we're pretty evenly dispersed between which ones we chose. All the other ones are split up into lines, not squares. It isn't straight because the only one that isn't a line is the XY of 100. And, like, we all have our own reasonings of what we saw, right? Why we felt something didn't match. So, like, when I looked at this, I'm like, oh, the first one because it doesn't have the other, like, bar diagrams or tape diagrams, right? But, like, I could make an argument that the first two are very similar to each other, just set up differently. So it's all like what you see in your brain, right? Which is also essentially like what we've been practicing with the percent work of like how we do these things. So on our second slide here, yeah, a few of us have this wrong, so I'm gonna yank you guys back to me real quick. On our second slide here, so I pulled you back to me, but you're already like free, so please don't navigate off this page yet. We want to figure out how long is the new, not just how much is getting put on. Lane, you want to talk us through?
So what I did here is kind of what I always do these conversions. I did the temperature strategy, so I did 15 divided by 10, and I found that was like 1.5, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. So I multiplied that by 2 because that would be 20%. And then what I did in that situation, I thought like I used to think like that you would like add it on, but you take it away. You take 3 away from 15 because that would be like 20% taking off. Like when you're buying
Careful. You're actually ahead of, you're in a couple slides from now where they're trying to save money and they make the granola bar shorter. We need to make the granola bar 20% longer. So the original, be careful because I think this is where you're getting tripped up. When they give us the original, that is what percent? 100. The original is 100% until we change it. So then we change it and we go up by 20%. So like Lane said, 20% is 3. But we're going to increase it because they're trying to, like, you know, be able to advertise, it's bigger now, you get more. So how long is the new one? 18, right? So we got to add that 3 on. But be careful, pretty soon they start trying to be stingy and it's all about money and they make the granola bars smaller. So keep going.
Does it mean the original price or the price we got for the...
What you know is what you know. Like, what is there is all that you know. 15 over 100%, right? How do we get to 10%? Divide by 10. So what's 15 divided by 10? It's not a good decimal. 1.5. So we divide by 10, cross the decimal over, and you grab the calculator. And so 1.5 is 10%. How much is 20%? How do you go from 10% to 20%? So we would need 3. So that's how much we're going to increase the granola bar, which is going to be how long? But wait, there's another way. So we've been doing the 10% technique, which works. But there's another technique that we want to make sure we understand, because especially when we have a calculator, and especially when time matters, I'll admit, the 10% technique might not be the fastest way. You good, man? You sure? Because I'm teaching you something new right now. I would love it if you would pay attention. If you don't have anywhere to write, and you don't have to get graph paper. If you have yesterday's paper, you can write in the column where it says like my notes if you want. A 20% increase is going to take us up to what percent now? What percent are we gonna be at now? 120. So what we want is to be 120% of what we were. But percent means what?
Out of 100.
Out of 100. So if I want to actually do math, there's no percent sign like in the calculator. I mean, there might be, but like, we don't use the percent sign when we're doing math. We've got to take it to the decimal number. So what's the decimal number that goes with 120%? Anybody?
1.2.
Careful.
1.
What would 120 divided by 100? We could cross out those zeros. It'd be 12 divided by 10. It's 1.2. Guys, what decimal number goes with 100%? That's 1. If I order pizza and they bring me all the pizza I ordered, like that's 100%. I get my one pizza, right? One pizza is 100%. Now, I would love it if they would bring me 120%. Bring me some extra pizza. Love it. But if we want to figure out what 120% of the granola bar is, what's of tell me to do? Add, subtract, multiply, or divide? It's multiplication. So if we want to figure out 120% of the granola bar, what we can do, and this is going to help you on your homework, like even your 7.1.4 paper homework, no joke, we could do, was your hand up?
Like, that's like I do. I usually do like point something time, like the thing.
Take the percent we're at now, but again, we're going to use the decimal number of that percent. Take the percent you have now and multiply it by what you had. If you do this, you'll get 18. So as you keep going and as you look at the like future slides, like this one I think you guys will be pretty good on. But here, we're getting 10% shorter. Rip off. If you're losing 10%, what percent are we at now? 90. What decimal would go with 90%? Yeah, 0.9. And you could do 0.9 times 15. Or if you want it, if you're really comfortable with the 10% technique, we can do that. But guys, I'm telling you, as the percentages get weirder and not nice, like what if I told you 62.7%? That's going to be annoying to do 10% with. But if I'm telling you 62.7%, well, what is that as a decimal? We bump the decimal over because we're doing division by 100. and I could use 0.627 and just calculate with that. And we're not using that percent, but it would be gross if we were, and we'd probably not want to do the 10% technique. A few of us need to come back to here and check our answers. So when I unpause you, you're all coming back to this slide, but then if you really like your answer, you can move on. Guys, when Desmos gives you that feedback of like, try it, actually look at it and see was my answer right or not. Yeah. I know we'd love if the granola bar got bigger, but that company's trying to rip you off. is one of you not syncing with me? Zane, how'd you break Desmos? There you go. Maybe yours just took longer. All right, this is one of the harder slides, so I feel like we should probably try to work through it together. Even if you've already done it, I need your help. So we're trying to sort these into the least to the greatest. I'm going to start with the one that feels E-word. Which one of these feels easier than the rest?
100% of 20.
Yeah, what is this? 20! If you have 100% of something, you just have what you have. Okay, so I know this is 20. Alright, so I'm just going to stick this here until I figure out where to go. What about, maybe I should use random cards. Jane, what about 25% of 20? What do you think about that one? If we think about 20 being our whole, and guys, what you might want to draw on your page is like, all right, so if 20 is our whole, hey Ray, maybe hang out till I stop, like going over this, maybe go to the bathroom when I'm not teaching. If 20 is our whole, that's our 100%, right? So if we only have 25% of 20, we have a quarter of it, and how much is that? Maybe pay attention a little bit to what we're all doing together. Okay, so yeah, so if I only have, wait, careful, a lot of these look similar. So that is our 25% of 20. My bad, that's silly. So we know this is 5, which actually, that might be the smallest. Like, we'll find out, but we know that was 5, right? 25% of 20. It's like having a fourth of it. Carolina, what about 25% more than 20? Yeah, since we figured out the 25% is 5, we would add the 5, and this is actually 25. I'm going to go ahead and drag this down because I know it's more than 20. I know it's more than 5. Okay. Kamal, what about 75% less than 60? And I think we could say that differently. If you have 75% less, how much percent do you still have? We still have 25%. What's 25% of 60? Guys, how could we make your life easier? What's easier to find than 25%, but it's on the way to getting to 25%? Do 50% first.
15.
What's 50% of 60? 30. So then cut that in half again to go to 25%. That'd be 15. All right, I think it's more than 5. So, all right, I'm going to drop that there for a moment. Sam, what about 25 more than 20?
Just add 25 to 20.
There's no percent here. We're just adding. Ooh. So that actually is bigger. I keep being silly. That's actually bigger than the 25% more than, because this was 25, right? This is 45. Ooh, and now I think we're done. Because we got 5, 15. This was 20. This was 25. And this is 45. Right, so now I think we're sorted correctly. Keep on keeping on. Now this is pretty interesting. If I get to use all 3 coupons, you know what? I want you guys to turn to a partner or a neighbor, talk about this. Like, actually have a discussion of what you think would come first or second, or like, I can move these. These are just in the order that they gave them to me. Talk to each other. What do you want to use first? What do you want to save for last?
Yeah. So, would you? I think you want to use 20% first. Oh, I see.
Your guys' conversation is thrilled. Matt, Ezekiel, Matt.
No, you didn't move these around.
Would you maybe talk about this, please?
No, I hate those.
Sophia, this is really difficult for me to like not be teaching telling this. Alright, I'm trying to be able to give you guys the last 5 minutes on your own. So, come back to me, please. Jackson, what do you think we want to use first and why? I heard you guys talking back there. I know you have opinions.
Yeah, we have opinions. We're just like calculating.
That's fine, but what do you want to use first and why? You don't have to calculate anything yet. What's your gut say? Jackson, I heard your conversation.
Can we do 20% off first?
Yeah, we can. Why?
Because if we do 20% off first, we get $5 off.
And why wouldn't we just take the $10 off first?
Because then it would be $15, and 20% 15 is less than.
Guys, percents are all relative to what's the whole. So if you have a coupon, you want to use that percent coupon first, well, the big percent coupon if you can, because it's going to get the most off that you can. Okay, so 20% first. Sophia, what are you thinking for second? The other person, wait, $10 or 5% next? So if we take $10 off, then our 5% happens last.
Alright, now do the 5%.
We want to do the percents before the straight up dollars, because that will save us the most. This, 20% off, would save you $5. Now the price is down to 20. Now what's 5% of 20? Guys, do 10% first. What's 5% of 20?
4.
Well, let's do 10% first. If 20 is now 100%, what's 10%? 2. So what's 5%?
1.
1. So now we're down to $19, and now we take $10 off, and now we're down to $9. Dang, you got a good deal on that shirt. You have the last 5 minutes to work on Khan Academy if you would like.
Just
Khan Academy, you're shooting for 75% or higher. Alright, sorry, I jumped the gun with stopping the recording because we should check progress.
question, did you update the Khan Academy?
What do you mean?
Because I see the things I did, like...
Were you not here when I checked who's in what class?
Oh, no, I'm in 1A.
Okay, then what do you mean did I update? I'm confused what you're asking.
Put new assignments.
No, you have the stuff that's due today, you have the stuff that's due tomorrow, you have stuff that is quote-unquote due I was just trying to spread things out with due dates, so it's not really due Sunday. But you should see, like, due today, due tomorrow, due Sunday, due Monday, due Tuesday. Like, there's just, like, a list of assignments, but I don't think I changed that since yesterday.
So we just have to do like 2 different Khan Academy things?
Yeah. The cross-sections one should not take you super long. And if you need help, get help from a friend, right? And if you both need help, maybe come see me. All right. How much progress do you think you guys have made?
I think we got past the.
All right, well, first off, 3A.
Oh no.
Oh, they forgot to check yesterday, too. All right. You think we'll fill a whole ring?
No.
Yeah, I think
Depends how much you guys did.
I did a few.
Stop. I think we'll stop it.
Chop! Okay.
So it looks like some of us need to do our homework, because this means not even all of us have done our homework. So, all right, you got a few more minutes. A couple more minutes. Is that slow motion running to the finish line?
Oh, really?
That what? Actually, yeah, you're right. It totally sounds like Wii Sports, like, you know, like at the finish line sort of thing. If you want to look this song up and be able to motivate yourself while you're doing homework, it's called Chariots of Fire. In case you did not know that.
This is one of the most banger movie songs.
Right?